My name is Shad Bogany. It's the first time you're listening to the Real Estate Corner. We're here every Tuesday from 6:15 to 7:15 talking real estate. And we've got an open line tonight. And we're going to talk a little bit about everything that you would like to talk about in real estate. I've got several subjects I want to cover, but let me tell you who some of our upcoming guests are going to be. Next week, we're going to be talking about insurance. The following week after that, we're going to be rolling into, I think, wheels. So we're going to continue to bring you excellent guests and excellent information on the Real Estate Corner. The numbers here are 281-837-2222. My name is Shad Bogany. This is your first time listening or looking at this show. The numbers again are 281-837-2222. You can also catch us streaming audio. That's kwwj.org or therealestatecorner.info. Or you can also catch us on Saturday morning at Iconic TV, extension 1510 or channel 15.10, and then you'll pick us up on Sunday night if you missed that time. So we're everywhere to try to help you. You can also follow us on YouTube, and when you get to us on YouTube, you can watch the YouTube channel. So let's just say you missed the show. You can go to our YouTube channel, The Real Estate Corner, and see this show. So there's lots of things to do with an open line. And one thing, it makes me get organized a lot better than I normally am. This show is brought to you by American Title, my favorite title company, Charlene Clancy, and she's at 5802 Val Verde, Charlene, and Dixie Hardware, my favorite hardware store where it's family owned, family service. When service is important, that's the store you want to get to. When you want to get some answers, go to Dixie Hardware down on Cullen and OST. So let's start off the show with my feature home of the week. This is a new listing that we just got. This property is located at 9638 Beverly Hills Street. It's in the Briar Meadow Tangle Wild subdivision, right between Richmond and Westheimer. This home is over 2,300 square feet. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. First floor, you've got a living area, a large family room or den with ceramic tile, and then you've got an updated kitchen with a granite countertop, stainless steel appliances. The master is on the first floor, and then you have a bath. You go upstairs, you got all hardwood floors upstairs in the game room and the 2 other bedrooms and another bath. This property is listed for $278,900. Let me repeat that, $278,900. So you want to be in a walkable area, close to all the shopping and restaurants. This is the home for you. That's 9638 Beverly Hills Street, and it is our feature home of the week. Let's move on to some things that I wanted to talk about last week. We're going to talk about schools. I wanted to give you some insight of schools. The Houston Chronicle just recently came out with their school information. And the school information that they had was a little bit different from a standpoint with the school information is that I think you're going to be surprised of who the top schools are. So I tried to pick out the top elementary, top middle schools, and the top high schools in the area. That doesn't mean that the high school or elementary or middle school that your kids go to didn't rank high. If you call us, I'll tell you where they ranked and what school district they are in. I'll tell you where it ranked. But I'm picked out some of them, 281-837-2222. You get a lot of parents sometimes moving their kids out to the suburbs because the thought is you get a better education with suburban schools, and that's when I give you the information, you'll find out where the top schools are. We're going to also talk about a new theme that, and this is just part of the time, unmarried couples need to get protection when they're getting a mortgage. So you're not married, so you decided to get a mortgage with your boyfriend or girlfriend or so on and so on. I want to give you some tips on that. The other thing that we're going to talk about is the American dream itself. The month of June is home ownership month. Home ownership is the month of June, and so we're going to try to continue to push about home ownership. I wanted to cover what's going on in the Houston real estate market. I'm going to tell you some of the areas that The values have changed quite a bit. I'm going to share some areas with you that values have gone down, kind of give you an idea. But we just recently got the Houston Association of Realtors report for the month of May. We're always a month behind, so let's get right into it. According to the latest monthly report, the Houston Association of Realtors, 8,157 single-family homes sold in the month of May. That's up over almost 1% over a year ago. That represents a huge 1% increase. Home prices reached the highest level all time in single-family homes. The median price of a home in Houston right now, the highest it's ever been, $243,000. So those who have been looking for those 120, 125, you can see those are getting less and less. The average price for a home in Houston, $305,000. That's the average price. Now this is also a mixture of new homes and existing homes. The Houston Association of Realtors have both in there, and I will divide out the resales later on as we move to it. The hottest part of the market for the fourth straight month is 500 to 750,000. 500 to 750,000. So that tells me the all business is doing really well. Medical business is doing really well here in the greater Houston area. The luxury market, which is 750, stayed unchanged. Nothing changed from it from last month. The Houston Association chair, Kenya Burrell Van Warmer, says it still remains to be a seller's market. Kenya, who's the chairman of HAR, says it is still a seller's market out there. So let's continue on with the report. Most sales of properties totaled 9,721 sales. So the sales of all property types, whether it's a lot, condo, was 9,721. It was up about 0.6 of a point from the previous month. The sales volume was at 2.8 billion, up about 2%. Now, I've continued to tell you guys that, it is cheaper to own a home in Houston versus lease one. So let me tell you what a single family home is leasing for in Houston right now. Typical 3-bedroom, 2-bath, $1,845 a month. Townhomes and condos are up to $1,580 a month. Now, I'm going to tell you, like I've said over and over on this show, if you're paying that type of money, don't tell anybody, because you can own a home. And interest rates in a 7-year high right now. So this affordability side that we've been talking about is slowly going away. Let's look at the active listings. Currently right now, we're total active listings in Houston fell 1.4%. We have about 39,478 homes available for sale, maintaining a 4-month supply. So when I talk about inventory, and when you hear the word monthly inventory, that means that if no one put their house on the market in Houston or the greater Houston area, we would run out of houses to sell in 4 months. In August of last year, it was at 4.3. And for the perspective, the U.S. total months of inventory is 4.0. So across this country, it is a seller's market at this particular time. So let's get on some real quick notes here on some things that are going on. If you're listening and watching this show, one of the things I want to tell you is that if you're looking for 100,000 to 150, we had almost a 22% decrease in sales. So that meant that there's hardly no houses in that price point. The market, which is the hottest, was up 10%, was, as I said earlier, 500,000 to 750. And the 750 above had no change. Existing home sales, as I told you, I would break those out. There was 6,831 existing home sales. The average sales price for an existing home is $297. The average, the median price for an existing home was $231 in that end. So let's run out and finish up what our highlights are. The single family home median price raised 3.4%, which is an all-time high. So those who think it's going to go down, it's not going down. So what's happening is that you're being squeezed with the interest rate and you're getting squeezed with the prices there. Townhome sales 6.4%, but the home price is up 2.5%. Average townhome about 213, medium is about 170. We've told you what the leases are, and that is where the market is right now in the greater Houston area. The numbers here again are 281-837-2222. Give us a call. My name is Shad Bogany. We're here every Tuesday from 6:15 to 7:15. So if you're driving home in that traffic right now, you turn us on to KWWJ 1360, or you can listen to us at 96.9 FM. And we've got a treat for you. You can catch us on Iconic TV on Saturday morning and Sunday night. Give us a call. All our lines are open. Jermaine Freeman is producing the show. And if you've not visited our website, www.theshadboganyteam.com website. Our website has videos on it. It has the videos around different places around Houston. Also, it has consumer videos. You can actually learn how to do something on our website. Whether how to buy a house, how to build a deck. All of that information is on our website. That's called the www.shadboganyteam website. I had an opportunity to go to Dallas. I spoke on a panel for the Texas Association of Real Estate Brokers, and had an opportunity to talk about some of the new technology and what's going on in the real estate market. Great conference. Courtney Rose Johnson, who's president of the Texas Association of Real Estate Brokers, put on a marvelous program along with the San Antonio Association of the Black Real Estate Association in San Antonio. So I was very thankful that they gave me an opportunity to come in and speak and tell them what's going on in technology as far as real estate. But it was a really good event. The numbers again, 281-837-2222. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with the Real Estate Corner. I'm your host, Shad Bogany. I'm here every Tuesday from 6:15 to 7:15, giving you the ins and outs. So here on KWWJ 1360 or 96.9 FM, or on Saturday and Sunday, Iconic TV. We're going to take a quick break and be right back with the Real Estate Corner. Thinking about buying or selling, real estate can be a very complicated process. Finding one, how much can you afford? Get survey, put a home on the market, review the net sheets, taxes, advice on financing, homestead exemptions, advice on insurance, what kind of mortgage, inspections, considering offers, negotiations, submitting an offer, how good are the schools, down payment assistance, title insurance, home warranties, closing costs, final walkthrough. These are the pieces of the puzzle of home ownership. I'm the person who helps put it together and the glue that keeps it together. Give me a call, Shad Bogany. Look at what's going on in the area in regards to home prices, and it seems to me that a lot of people must be moving out to the counties and country, wanting to do some country living. I was running over the trending report numbers, and it shows homes from June the 1st, 2016 to 5/31/2018. So I'm going to run through some things that I saw. Angelina County, which is out 59, had an increase in price over 40%. Braeswood Place, which is down in the medical center, very nice area, really nice, down 20% in home values. If you're moving out to Brookshire is getting hot. You're moving out in the suburbs, so that tells me people who can't afford Katie's moving to Brookshire. They're up 33%. Kaplan neighborhood went up 41%. Cold Springs in San Jacinto County up 15%. Cottage Grove. And the reason I brought in Cottage Grove is that they had a 1.4% change in value, and that's located near the 610 loop, a hot area, but it's down in value. Denver Harbor, which is probably the largest increase in the greater Houston area, is 32% up in value over that time, over the last 2-year period. Downtown Houston, 8.6% down in value. Fort Bend Southeast, which is that Fort Bend area, be Fresno, Teal Run, Sienna Plantation, they're up 9.1%. Everybody talks about living in Friendswood, where they're down about a little less than almost 1% down in the Friendswood area. Galleria, if you want talking about buying in the Galleria, over the last 2 years, Galleria values are down 15%. But I'll tell you that's one area that's moving really well is Greenway Plaza. Believe it or not, Greenway Plaza is up 38% over the last 2 years. So if you miss that opportunity of buying in Greenway Plaza, you're just going to pay 38% more. Highland Village up about 22%. That's over in that same general area. Let's go to my list. Humble area. A lot of listeners on KWWJ from Humble. If you're in South Humble, values have jumped up 48% if you're living out in the Humble area from over the last 2 years. So if you had bought in 2016, you'd paid a lot less money than you're paying today. Knollwood, Woodside area, that's over near Stella Link off the Braeswood area. Values are down 7.7%. And I'm just wondering if that had a lot to do with the flood activity over there in that general area. Medical Center South is up 12.8%. Meyerland is down 14%. I think a lot of that has to deal with what happened with the flooding with Meyerland. Northside Houston is up 13%. Polk County, Goodrich, Livingston, up 42%. Thought that was quite interesting. People seem to like that 59 area. River Oak Shopping Center area, 7% down. Rivercrest, one my favorite neighborhood, wish I could afford it, is down 19%. That's unusual. Riverside is up 10%. Shepherd Park Plaza is up 9.3%. See, Channelview area. We got a lot of listeners in the Channelview area, and this is on Telchman. It's up 175%. That is the highest increase over the last 2 years of any neighborhood in the Houston area. Upper Kirby, a lot of things going on in Upper Kirby, up 19% in that general area also. So these are hot areas that are doing well in the Houston area. The numbers again, 281-837-2222. You're listening to me on KWWJ 1360 and 96.9. And of course, you can catch us on Sunday morning and Sunday evening and Saturday morning on Iconic TV. That's its digital channel 15.10. Please give me a call. All our lines are open, guys. This is an opportunity to talk about whatever you'd like to talk about here in the real estate market. Give us a call. All our lines are open. We love to have you. If this is your first time listening to this show, if this is your first time viewing this show, this is the longest running radio show on real estate in the city, in the state. I've been told several times in the country. We're here every Tuesday from 6:15 to 7:15. In August, it will be 28 years that we've been on the air. Same time, same date for the last almost 28 years. So give us a call. We're here to help you. We're a consumer show. We're here to try to give you the ins and outs of what's going on in the real estate industry, whether it's statewide, locally, or nationally. So let's talk a little bit about an unmarried couple. You need to use protection when getting a mortgage. I'm just going to share this with you. I can't tell you over the years I've been doing real estate how I've gotten couples who bought a boyfriend and girlfriend, a boyfriend and boyfriend, a girlfriend and girlfriend, whatever. They all have purchased a home together because They liked the house. They thought they'd live together forever. So let me give you some tips on what you should do. First thing you should do if from a prospective buyer is talk to your mortgage broker. Regardless of your marital status, the first step is buying a home should always be to speak to an independent mortgage broker and talk to them. With more than 16,000 mortgage lenders in the U.S., mortgage brokers are local experts. Shop the bar on behalf of the borrower for the best loan terms. You get pre-approved, so that's going to determine what your purchasing power will be for both people. Brokers will also educate you on regarding anything that might be complex with the situation. This matter because after the initial purchase has closed, you cannot just add someone to your mortgage without refinancing. Let me repeat that again. Once you close on the deal, you can't add that person. Well, we're getting married now. You still can't add that person unless you refinance that property. So let's talk a little bit about the majority of the country. The spouse is required to sign even if the home isn't under one name. And the reason for that, so let's just say you do a spouse only loan. You can purchase a home as a spouse only, but your spouse who you're married to has to sign the deed of trust. The reason they have to sign the deed of trust is because they can't foreclose on you unless both parties have signed. The deed of trust is what the document they use to foreclose on you. Jermaine just sent me, we've got a caller on line 1. Let's go ahead and take that caller. Hello, you're on the air. Oh, I'm doing pretty good, Felicia. How are you doing? Well, this would be my thought. You can buy a home with a credit score of 580. The higher your credit score goes, the better interest rate that you're going to get. So actually, if you're 690, I think that's a great credit score. If you're at 700, I think that's even a better credit score. I think the biggest issue is meeting with a lender and determine what your purchasing power is going to be. So if you want to build on your own lot, you go out and you find the land and you purchase it. If you have cash money, you would buy the lot, and then that money would be used toward you building on that particular piece of land there. The reason you might want to go ahead and purchase a piece of land is because land cost is constantly going up every month. Every week we're seeing increases. And so it may be to your advantage to go ahead and solidify that deal, at least with the purchase of land, even if you plan on holding it a bit. But if you plan on holding it for 2 or 3 years, I would say you wait 2 or 3 years to purchase. If you buy a piece of land, plan on building on it in about 6 months, because there's no reason for it to be you sitting there paying taxes on it. Are you a veteran? Okay, so Texas Veterans Land Board has an opportunity where he can go out and purchase land up to 5 acres, I believe, and you could do that. And you're probably going to get an extra, a very low interest rate on the Texas Veterans Land Board. They also have a way, if you go to their website, you might be able to see land that's been foreclosed on, that they've taken back, that may allow you to be able to get a good deal with the Texas Veterans Land Board. But if you're buying in the city limits of Houston, a vet can build on his own land. You just have to have a lender that's able to do the deal. Thank you. I appreciate you listening. Tell somebody about the program. All righty, thank you. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back with the Real Estate Corner. I'm your host, Shad Bogany. I'm here every Tuesday from 6:15 to 7:15, trying to help you buy or sell and take you home in this tough traffic as we move forward. When we come back, we're going to continue on unmarried couples buying a house. We'll be right back, because I know you're listening to me. I know some of you've done it, and then some of them you're like, yeah, I won't ever do that again. I know it. So we'll be right back with the Real Estate Corner. Thinking about buying or selling, real estate can be a very complicated process. Finding one, how much can you afford? Get survey, put a home on the market, review the net sheets, taxes, advice on financing, homestead exemptions, advice on insurance, what kind of mortgage, inspections, considering offers, negotiations, submitting an offer, how good are the schools, down payment assistance, title insurance, home warranties, closing costs, final walkthrough. These are the pieces of the puzzle of home ownership. I'm the person who helps put it together and the glue that keeps it together. Give me a call, Shad Bogany. Hey guys, if you're looking for a title company, you need to call Charlene Clancy over at American Title. She's located at 5802 Valverde. She does an awesome job. See, title companies, they give you title insurance to make sure that the title is clean. Everybody charges the same amount for the title insurance, and pretty much everybody has the same fees. What sets a title company apart from others is service. And my favorite title company is American Title at 5802 Valverde. Her number is 713-784-0006. She does a great job. Her group, she's got Ron, she's got Eric. They're all doing an awesome job. The number again is 713-784-0006. That's American Title. And my favorite escrow officer and her team, Charlene Clancy, along with Eric and Ron. The numbers here again are 281-837-2222. So we were just going through if you are a unmarried couple purchasing a home. The first thing we talked about is the mortgage broker. You get pre-approved. Find out what your purchasing power is. And if one of you've got bad credit and the other one doesn't, then you might go alone at that end. But you cannot refinance the loan and put them on it later on. Next thing you need to do is seek legal advice. Yep, you need to get some legal advice. Ask your mortgage broker to refer you to an experienced real estate attorney who can help you plan and take care of all the financial aspects relating to buying, owning, maintaining. It's a good idea to get everything on paper, from recurring mortgage payments, insurance, down payment, maintenance, potential repairs. No one likes to think about a relationship ending, but it's the reality you have to consider, especially when you have the same legal protections that married couples have, like marital and community property. Protect yourself early. Guys, sit down and look at it and say, if we decide to split up, and you may be together forever, how are we going to do it? Who's going to take the house? Are we going to sell the house? All of that comes into play. And one of the things that I've noticed more than anything else, when couples begin to split, one of them don't want to pay the mortgage payment. I ain't going to pay it. You're not going to pay it. If I'm not going to pay it, and I'm not moving out. Then you have those issues in. Oh, I'm not fixing that. I'm just going to stay here. And how do you get them out? You can't get them out because it's part of their house. So you need to have a legal document that says if the relation has been dissolved, you will have an opportunity to be able, you know how he's leaving, or she, or she, or he. You'll know how those things are going to work at that point. So always hire you a good legal attorney. Speak openly about financing. Money is one of the leading causes of divorce. And you are even not married yet, it becomes more important to talk freely about financial problems that could affect your loan. Issues like poor credit, bankruptcy, existing debt. Keep in mind that unmarried couples are assessed as singles, so if their problem was one person's financials, it could significantly complicate matters. For example, higher interest rate, needing more money down. I can't tell you, if you're serious about somebody, you might want to ask them about their credit. And that's really, really important to say, hey, do you got student loans? Because, you know, when you're dating, everything's Disney World, okay? And then when you get serious and you decide that, hey, we're not ready for marriage, but we like to buy a house together because we're tired of paying rent, then you need to ask those questions. And for some reason, couples are very reluctant to ask the other person about their credit. how's your credit? You know, that's one of the first things you need to ask. You don't have to ask them how much money they make, because they can have good credit and not make as much as you, or vice versa. It's about credit, because that determines what the interest rate is going to be. And that determines all of that in the process as we move forward. And so single people, if you're buying a house and your single girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever not able to get on the loan with you, then you're probably protected a little bit. But if that person starts making payments, part of the house note, you may be under the same guidelines as a married couple. So once again, you still need to put everything in writing. And I can't tell you how important it is to openly speak about your finances. Open joint accounts. While you don't have to merge all your financing, you may want to consider opening a secondary checking account to cover the mortgage, insurance, tax payments, and home repairs. And it's real important to have a little side account for home repairs. You put money in there, maybe $15, $20, $50. I can almost assure you in maintenance, something will come up where you'll need that mortgage. And so what I would suggest is that you may even put an extra house payment in there. So if something comes up, somebody gets laid off, or any unexpected expenses, you'll be able to do it. Marriage and family has changed a lot in the past 25 years. I'm sure a lot of you listening to me knows that it has changed. So as home buying, leave it to the experts, the lenders and the realtors to help you through this process. And so I think it's really, really important that when you're getting ready to purchase a home, it's always about the team that you put together. Don't base it on relationship. Don't base, I go to church with him or her. Don't base it on that all the time. Base it on what the experience, how often. And it still amazes me sometimes, guys, when people who are buying a house and they're spending a lot of money determine that they're going to, how I want to say this, they're purchasing the largest purchase financial decision that most people make, and they go get somebody who ain't never sold a house, just was able to pass the exam. As I've said over and over again, just because my analogy is, if you can pass a driver's license test and drive, doesn't mean you know how to drive. So same way in real estate, you can pass the exam, that don't mean you know how to implement things and understand it. Numbers again, 281-837-2222. You're listening to the Real Estate Corner. I'm your host, Shad Bogany. I'm here every Tuesday from 6:15 to 7:15, helping you with real estate all the time. Give us a call. All our lines are open, and don't forget to catch us on Iconic TV Saturday morning at 9 o'clock and Sunday evening at 8 p.m. And you can also go to the Real Estate Corner YouTube channel. And so a show that you've missed, you can catch it. And you'll see all the videos that we've done over the years. And share it with somebody. Hey, you need to see this. I'm bringing it to you just the way it is. I'm not sugarcoating anything. There's no fluff here. I'm just going to tell you the way it is, because when things go bad, I want to be able to tell you, I told you that's how we needed to handle it. So the numbers again, 281-837-2222. Give us a call. We've got a few minutes left in the show. If it's your first time listening to this show, you can catch me on 96.9 FM or KWWJ 1360, or you can go to the realestatecorner.info, info. Click on the blinking radio tower, streaming audio, listen to this show. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with the Real Estate Corner. Thinking about buying or selling, real estate can be a very complicated process. Finding one, how much can you afford? Get survey, put a home on the market, review the net sheets, taxes, advice on financing, homestead exemptions, advice on insurance, what kind of mortgage, inspections, considering offers, negotiations, submitting an offer, how good are the schools, down payment assistance, title insurance, home warranties, closing costs, final walkthrough. These are the pieces of the puzzle of home ownership. I'm the person who helps put it together and the glue that keeps it together. Give me a call, Shad Bogany. The American dream is a phase with history and meaning that we can do well to keep in mind. It's about much more than home ownership. Indeed, home ownership may not even be a central part of the dream. Historian James Trullo Adams coined the phrase American dream in his 1931 Epic of America. He said the American dream is that dream of land in which life should be better, richer, fuller for everyone, with the opportunity for each according to ability and achievement. It was not a dream of motor cars and high wages, but a dream of social order in which each man and each woman shall be able to obtain the fullest stature of which they can innately capable, but recognized by others that are regardless of the virtuous circumstances of birth and position. The essence of American dream was, I think, is the idea America is a land where the effort could be better, one condition, one children could live better than their parents. Moreover, the potential of doing so was not be restrained by government or one's class. This is a dream that drew millions of people to our shores, and it still does. And the key to the American dream, in my opinion, is still home ownership. It is very important. That's how you grow wealth. We seem to be in our community missing that point. We're going to take a quick 10-second ID break and be right back, and I'm going to get into education. Welcome back to the Real Estate Corner. I'm your host, Shad Bogany. The numbers again, 281-837-2222. Every year, the Chronicle puts out a review on schools. And it came out 2 weeks ago in the Sunday paper. And I always pull these reviews because the first thing that a couple or single person or somebody who's a parent with a child will ask me as we drive, get in my car, what's the schools like, Shad? Oh, my kids are in school. I want them to have the best education they can have. So I wanted to run by you the top elementary schools in the greater Houston area. This includes all the districts in the greater Houston area. And I just wanted to run them by you. The number one elementary school in Houston is T.H. Rogers. Number one in the area. We've also got the number two elementary school in the area was a school over in, let me see where my list is, Tomball, Creekside Forest Elementary made number two. My number three school is in Fort Bend district. That's Commonwealth Elementary. And then we've got, we've got Horn Elementary and River Oaks Elementary and West University Elementary are those schools there. And I don't want to tell you what they all have in common. I think you already know. So let's move over to the other. We're still getting the top 10. Charter schools. Houston Gateway Corral, number 7. And Harmony School, number 8. Those are the top elementary schools in the district. Now, no one would think that Houston HISD has the majority of the top schools because everybody assumed that Fort Bend, Spring, Cypress have better schools, but not really. And so, in most of these schools, I know my daughter went to T.H. Rogers, so I know how well T.H. Rogers does. I think she spent a little time over there. And I forgot Devers Elementary. And Devers is the only elementary school in that district, but they were number 9 on my list. So let's roll over and let me share this with you guys. If you want to know where your kid's school starts or where it is, call me, 281-837-2222. And you know I'm also going to tell you the schools that got Fs. Some of the ones, I'm going to tell you some of them that's been Fs forever, and now they've moved to Ds. So we'll talk a little bit about that because I still don't understand how that can continue to be. let's talk about our #1 middle schools. Now, middle schools are a little bit different. And the reason they're a little bit different because when those kids get those hormones, everything goes wild. It's not as many #1 schools in elementary, A+ schools as it is. We've got a caller on line 1 before we go to our middle school. Let's take that caller. Hello, you're on the air. Yeah, that's called a land trust. So what they do, and it's being done in Austin right now. I think they're doing a little bit in Dallas. The whole deal is to make homes affordable near the inner city where gentrification is going on. So what happens is that you get a land, the city owns the property or the nonprofit owns the property, and they set it up on a 99-year lease. And so you pay a small fee, maybe $5 a month for your lease, but you build a house there. Most of these land trusts put restrictions on who you can sell it to. They put restrictions on how much money you can make when you sell the property. So for example, most of them are set up at 2% appreciation every year. So if you decide to sell that house in 10 years, the most you can sell it, and it's gone up in value, the most you could sell it for is what you originally paid for it, but plus 20%. But it could have went up, it could have tripled, but you can only do that. And so the city of Houston is looking at doing this. They're doing sessions around the city on this particular program. I don't think they've completely gotten their guidelines down. Let me give you an example. The people in Austin, Land Trust, Guadalupe, in the city of Austin, they don't use realtors really. The city of Houston feels that they might try to use realtors because they've got over 3,000 lots they might want to put in this program. And they realize that realtors actually bring the more qualified client. The challenge, Jonathan, to this program is finding a lender that will loan that way. And the other thing about the land trust is that the taxes on it are paid on the house, not the land, up to a certain amount. In Austin, it was around 15 grand, even though you were right downtown and the lot may have been worth 200,000, they were only taxing at 15,000. And the city would control a little bit of that, where they would start building these houses themselves, and then they could control costs. And then what they would do is limit it, who you could sell, what you could sell it for, and who you could do it. Because the whole deal is not for you to make money. It is to give you a house near downtown that's affordable. Now, I believe in wealth building. And so I do believe that this is going to cut into that a little bit. But on the flip side of it, it is going to give people an opportunity to live near downtown, live near their jobs, and be affordable. And I'm going to try to get somebody on with the city of Houston to give some insight to the program. But I called Austin the other day and they gave me a crash course, the city of Austin and the Guadalupe Land Trust. They've done about 17 of these. And I'll tell you something else that Austin is working on, is doing tiny house subdivision with this program. All right, thank you so much, Jonathan. Appreciate you listening. So let me give you the top middle schools. Here they go. T.H. Rogers is a top one. Lanier Middle School. I went to Lanier, so I'm glad to see that Lanier is still in that top 10. Energized STEM Southwest, Mandarin Immersion is in the top 10. Fort Bend Settlement Middle School is there. Let me look at the others. And the Cornerstone in Spring Branch is number 2. And charter schools, Houston Gateway number 3, and Houston Gateway Elite number 5. Okay, those are the top middle schools. So some of those middle schools you thought were top and you didn't hear me call their name, that does not mean they didn't get an A. They're just not one of the top 10 schools. Let's go to high school. and the top high schools. And in the area, the number one high school in Houston, in the greater Houston area, drum roll, that's the Bakey Health Profession School, and Eastwood Academy, Carnegie Vanguard, East Early College High School, and Sharpstown International. Then we go to Kerr and A-Leaf Early College High School, 4 and 5, Aldine Victory, yes, Aldine has a school in the top 10, and they hadn't had many, but this one's in the top 10. Aldine Victory Early College High School, number 9. And so, and then we've got Spring Branch had one. They're number 7 with Spring Early College. Now, those are the top schools there. Now, one of the things that kind of shocked me a little bit as I went down the list is looking at the charter schools. Now, I'm under the impression charter schools are supposed to be small classes, really get the kids up and running, but I'll give you KIPP Generation in charter school. They got a D. And see, the next charter school got a... See, believe it or not, they had about 4 or 5 of them at F's. Lawson Academy got an F. Yes Prep, Southside got an F. Draw Academy got an F. Rhodes North Shore got an F. And so my thing is, if they're not doing what they're supposed to do, why are we paying money for charter schools? Hell, they need to go ahead and get into regular schools. So, because obviously they're not performing. And I don't understand why we're paying that money. Somebody help me here and tell me why we're paying money for charter schools and they're not. Let me go on over to my list. Those 4 or 5 that I gave were all middle schools. So I forgot to label those. Those are I've told you what the high schools were. So let's go to the elementary school. And so I'm just kind of running it by you so you'll know. We've got several charter schools in elementary school. Draw Academy Upper, F. Rhodes North Shore, F. Sean Nino's Charter, F. Ambassador Prep, F. And this school used to be really good. I don't know what happened. Vornet Charter, F. So I don't understand why we got F schools and D schools in charter. And so what's the special thing about charters? To me, they should be doing. Now, I'm not an educator. I'm not any of that. I'm just looking at the numbers. And one of the things I would share with you, my big school I like to pick on all the time, but I'm in Fort Bend, and Fort Bend schools are one of my favorite schools, but I like to give my hat off to Willow Ridge and Marshall. Both are in the D level now. They had been in the F for as long as I've been doing this report, which has been several years, but they've gone from D to D minus and D. And I just wanted to let you guys know that. And for parents who really like that Cypress area and always talk about my kids go to Cypher Fair. Well, Cypress Springs is C+. And see what else we got here. Clear Creek schools, if they're in Clearview High School, C-. And so, those are some things to keep in mind and keep going as we move forward. Let me check my time here. You've been listening to the Real Estate Corner. Guys, I'm going to, and this is all with the Chronicles. All you have to do is go to the Chronicle and pull up this, put in school grades, and you can see this information. But the reason I'm bringing it up as a realtor is because that's one of the first things that parents ask me if they've got children, what the schools are. Now, let me share this with you. Even if you do not have any kids, you should be concerned about the schools because that determines the value of your home. If you're not in good schools, nobody wants to be there. But I would really like to relook at all these charter schools and wonder why they got D's and F's and they're supposed to be special schools with special learnings. Numbers again have been 281-837-2222. This show is brought to you also by Dixie Hardware. If you're looking for a hardware store where service is important, go see Dixie Hardware. The Dixon family over there, they've got things like lawn equipment. They've got paint, plumbing. They can make your keys. They can cut your glass. They can do all the things, small appliances. All of that stuff is there at Dixie Hardware. Sheetrock. You're redoing your house from the flood. Go to Dixie Hardware. They're right at Cullen and OST. They're family owned. And I'd just like to say they are the only black-owned hardware store that I know in Texas. They're the only one that they're competing with the big box stores. Guys, my name is Shad Bogany. I'm here every Tuesday from 6:15 to 7:15. I hope you would continue to listen to my show. And this is the first time we did a show with Iconic TV with no guests. So this was a little bit different, but we'll see you next week. Thinking about buying or selling, real estate can be a very complicated process. Finding one, how much can you afford? Get survey, put a home on the market, review the net sheets, taxes, advice on financing, homestead exemptions, advice on insurance, what kind of mortgage, inspections, considering offers, negotiations, submitting an offer, how good are the schools, down payment assistance, title insurance, home warranties, closing costs, final walkthrough. These are the pieces of the puzzle of home ownership. I'm the person who helps put it together and the glue that keeps it together. Give me a call, Shad Bogany.